Everybody, I'm here in Fort Lauderdale with Chef Luke Summersgill. So I've known this guy for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Quite a few years now, but only online. And I only recently saw you down at our culinary convenience.
You did,
right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And I invited him over here to have a chat. Well, he invited me here to LMC, where we are now. Shout out to them. To do a little chat and find out about Luke and how he became a chef and all those kind of things. So, Luke, over to you from North Yorkshire, right?
Yeah, that's right. From North Yorkshire. I suppose we'll start like how I became a chef.
Yeah.
Really, I fell into chefing like a lot of people. Started 2010 when I was like 20 years old. Started at the bottom, like really in the bottom.
Yeah, you said you were like doing construction.
Yeah, I was doing construction before that. And then I basically really needed a job. So I ended up taking a kitchen porter job and then just worked my way up in there. Fortunately, it was a restaurant where they made everything from scratch. So
yeah, pretty nice place, right?
Very nice.
Like rosettes or something?
Yeah, we had like pretty much at like 2 rosette level. We'd won like Lancashire Life Dining Pub of the Year, which was good. Fresh breads, ice creams, etc., etc. And then just did the whole Lake District circuit down to London. 1 Michelin star, 2 Michelin star, and that took me till I was like 30 years old.
Right. So how many years? So from 2010, you were going, what, 5 years, 6 years?
Yeah, like 6 years, 6+ years.
That's pretty good, right?
7, actually. I started yachting in 2017.
So a bunch of the Michelin star places. Shout out to any.
Yeah, they're not there anymore.
No.
But Michael Wignall at the Latimer, big influence, and his head chef Pete. Got to shout out to Leon Whitehead as well. If he sees this, he'll appreciate it. And yeah. Oh, and Paul Sutton, my first ever mentor. Big shout out to him.
Nice one. So those guys got you into the fine dining, the Michelin star level.
Yes.
So tell me, how do you transfer that onto a yacht?
Yes, I can. So I got into yachting by doing my courses. A couple of people had started going into the yachting industry, and that's how I learned about it.
Yeah. So you did your SCTW?
Yeah, did my SCTW, my ANG1, registered.
Did those out in the UK?
Yep, did them in the UK at Blackpool and Liverpool, with Colossal actually. Shout out to them, sorry if I'm allowed. So did all that and then registered with the agencies.
Oh yeah.
All
that
the
takes forever, right? You got to put your CV in, you got to fill in all the details.
And they're all the same and basically on repeat, but just class
when
it
they
as
make that AI, and you just does it all.
That's it, yeah. Use AI. AI is your best friend.
So you're on all the agencies, you've done all your courses, and you're sitting waiting to get a job. How long did it take you?
It actually took me 3 months.
Oh wow!
And I didn't actually know anything about yachting before I started, so I didn't even believe it was real. So I thought, you know what? I'm going back to working on the agency where I know the money is.
Yeah. So this is back on you were telling me, the Michelin star circuit.
Yeah.
You're an agency chef for these high-end.
Yeah, just going around working a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, etc. Anyway, I was temping at the time at a 1-star for Francis Aitken. Shout out to Francis. And as soon as I've just started, phone call from the Mayan Queen, from the captain. Oh, the head chef would like to speak to you. So Simon, he speaks to me. Shout out Simon. Simon speaks to me. Oh, can you fly out to Antigua?
What size boat was it?
This is a 90 plus meter. It's just recently gone a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's a Mayan Queen. Like, it's quite a well-known boat.
So he gives you a call, asks you to fly out to Antigua, and you're like,
yeah, ring my mum, say, Mum, you can look after the car. Like, made the plans, and I just went. And I went that Friday. And that were in 2017, the back end of September. Mm-hmm. And I've never worked in a restaurant since.
Wow. So that was a big night in your boat. Awesome.
Yep.
Tell me, you've been talking to me. We've just been having a little margarita in the bar, and we were chatting about different size boats and the difference between them. And you said something really important there, and I think that's good to share about, working on a big boat compared to working on a smaller boat and the lessons you learned and how you transferred that across. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Right. So when you start, I feel when you start and you come in from whatever world you come from, the big boats are like more corporate. It's like, this is your job. This is the head chef.
Very clicky, isn't it?
Very, very clicky.
This is what you've got to do in the day. This is what you've got to do in the day. Some of the deckhands will only clean like one part of the boat for the whole career.
Yeah. And your job, it might be you make the salads, then you jump on the dinner prep, or for the crew, you'll start as a crew chef. And to be honest, at first I didn't get it. And I was a bit like, ugh. We have an ego when we come in, and honestly, you really need to lose that as quick as you can. But what I will say is start on the very big boats, learn all, like travel around everywhere, learn the suppliers, learn how to work at sea, and also sort of soften yourself to being around 30, 40 people that aren't chefs.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're not from our industry.
Because that Michelin star kitchen like vibe, that mentality is push, right?
It's push.
And it's very different on a cruise ship. I mean, on a big ship with a lot of crew. You've got a very different kind of vibe about the place. You've got to be more friendly, I suppose.
You do, and that even translates to the smaller boats, you know. Just not everybody's worked at them levels, or from Danny, he's from the army, like not everyone's got them levels of drive and dedication. Some people are just doing this for the summer season and they're going back to uni, you know, and that's it. You can't be screaming and shouting at them like, why don't you know what this is?
You can't get caught, dude.
You can't. Get in the fridge.
No, just
not kidding. So it's best just to do that. There's no harm doing a year or two as a crew/sous chef on a big boat and just enjoying yourself as well.
Makes you more appreciative of everything you've got to do. So tell me, what did you learn being a cruise chef?
Do you know what?
It's different from what you would learn in say, a restaurant.
Do you know what I really learned? And we didn't discuss this. I learned like world cuisine. Because in a restaurant, you know how to make a fondant, you know how to make a potato pressing, you know how to make a fluid gel, you know crumbs, you know this. But maybe you don't know why we do this Greek-style leg of lamb that you only get in a taverna down a back street in Greece. Or you don't know much about Thai food, or you don't know much about Mexican food. Now, when I started working on the yachts for the big bowls, then my head chef was very, like, we had a library in the galley, and he was like, right, I want you to do Mexican. Pick it out of this Mexican book, and pick, like, from different things. And then I really started to learn, like, the world cuisine and why we cook like the way we cook. And to be honest, I'm gonna flow into something else. Your guests are also, like, when you come on the smaller boats, your guests are very well traveled. They don't just want to eat a puree of this and this with a nice sauce.
It's so true, isn't it? So
you know,
true.
like,
you've got to be a different restaurant for almost every meal, not just every night. For lunch, breakfast, dinner, for that week. You've got to be authentic as well. And like you say, that's about learning, right?
Yeah. And you learn that there, you know, like before I started yachting, in fact, it was hilarious. I remember the first pizza lunch we did for crew. Me, the head crew chef said to me, come on, we're doing pizzas. Me, I get out my rolling pin and I start rolling pinning these pizzas. And he said, how the Italians, like, it's all by hand. And I couldn't do it. And now I pride myself on being like excellent at pizzas, and people know, like, oh, get Luke to do the pizza evening. I'm like, it's not so many years ago I couldn't do a pizza.
And it's those authentic touches which really take that to another level.
It is.
Tell me a little bit more about your career. So, you're on this big boat. Where did you go next, and what else have you done in your career?
So I sort of, dotted around as a cruise chef/sous chef on the big boats for a while. Did that. Then I went to Kismet and took over Sam there. Big shout out to Sam.
That's the old Kismet, right? The one that
the old
Kismet in the James Bond movie.
Yeah, that's it. And Sam's back on the new Kismet now. So I went there, and I left there for greed, actually, and I should never have left.
We did, for more money.
Yeah, for more money, business class flights. We got there, and that boat was not the one. I won't mention the name, but I did a bit on Kismet, left for various reasons. And then I started just to come into the smaller boats.
Smaller boats, we're talking like 50 meter range.
We're talking 50 meter
140 to 160 feet.
Yeah.
Charter boats, Caribbean, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'd done a little bit before of it, like interim jobs, like temping again. Yeah. And I'd never really been sold on it. And I think it's because I had like the big boat mentality.
And there definitely is that, right? There's a difference, you know?
And I was used to everything being so structured. Like on big boats, you've got a dairy fridge, a meat fridge, a fish fridge. On little boats, you don't. You might only have one fridge, you know? Like, not even a walking up. So, that took me some getting my head around. And now I actually really prefer it. Like, I'm in my flow zone on a 40 meter that's busy, and we're doing busy charters and we're doing busy trips. I have my spreadsheet, and you just got to be super organized.
Yeah, tell me a bit about how you organize. So when I plan my trips, I'll get the preference sheets, I'll create a bunch of menus, and I'll work with the chief stew, and we kind of come up with a plan for the week, and then I post them on my fridges. So then me and the chief stew every day can kind of play with them and adjust them. How do you do yours?
So, Danny, very similar to you, like that. Usually that's my end result. But first, I'll sit down on my own, I'll take the preference sheet, and I have a spreadsheet format. And that's got like the dates, and it's got the theme there. And then I'll put my main protein, put my gels, my garnishes, my salads for lunch, etc. If I'm doing bread or not. And then I just just write all that out for the week. The days may change and like we might move it around, but if I know that's my 10-day plan or my 7-day plan, that's it. I can do my orders off that.
Yeah.
And I also do for the crew at the same time. When I'm on trip, just try and keep the crew keep it simple, but keep it fresh. There's no reason that you can't be cooking fresh food for the crew.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
With your plans, you can do it. Yeah.
You can do it, like most of your crew, like they're going to love it if you stick a curry down there or you stick a Caesar salad down at lunch or a lasagna or whatever. They'll be happy with that. Trust me, they're in a rush anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
But then once you've done your spreadsheets and your spreadsheet format, then you do your order list and then you put, and then I'll do my menus from there. And sometimes I do work like Danny does and I stick them all on my fridges, but I start freaking out sometimes and annoying me looking at them. So I'll always make sure, and a lot of chief stews, and I didn't realize this was a thing. So I won't be able to go to bed at night if I've not sent my chief stew the menus the evening before and I've got my copy.
Right, yeah, that anxiety of like, have I done it?
Because it's not even, I need to come in. I generally start at 5:30 when I'm on trip. I want to come in and I want to look, and that's my list for the day. I know what I'm doing there.
Crack on, get into it.
Crack on. If you had to start, or I've not done it yet, then you're starting on the back foot. But as we've done this industry for some time, I'm starting to meet quite a lot of chief stews and say, oh, there's quite a lot of chefs that don't work like that. They just come in, they ask them at 11 o'clock what you're doing for lunch, and they don't know.
Yeah, it's writing a menu down on a piece of paper. Yeah, it's crazy.
Don't do that.
It's not worth the mental stress.
No.
Talking of mental stress, what do you do for your mental health? Do you have any routines or ways of like calming yourself down? We've got service, getting through stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. So every day I start my day exactly the same.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'll put a Tracy Chapman album on.
Oh yeah?
Every day.
I like a bit of Tracy.
Yeah, same, that first album, The Greatest Hits. Put that on. And that's how I set my chopping board up, make myself a coffee, and I set up like that. Look at my list. Before service, I like to make sure, like, I'm quite a fun guy, so like all day I'm playful and stuff. In service, I say like, just two people speaking. Like I'll speak with Mariah, the chief stew.
Yeah.
And
you get that communication.
Yeah.
And everyone else has to be quiet during that time.
Yeah.
Which is good, right? Good for flow, good for service, especially when you're feeding so many people.
Yeah.
And it's got to be delivered perfectly.
That's it. And a big one for you guys out there, if you're not doing it already, is a brief, like do a 5-minute brief before each service, lunch and dinner. Even if you think you're too busy, you're not. Like, because then when the girls aren't coming to then in service saying, oh, what's that puree there? What's this?
Frustrating, you're like, you're reaching over all the plates, right? Yeah, but it's good to do. And it puts it right in your mind as well, doesn't it? You've run through everything. I haven't forgotten anything. I haven't forgotten to put this garnish on or that garnish because I've run through everything. I think that's good.
Yeah, and just have everything set, just like, it's set, like this is going there, that's going there, and just be the orchestrator of service because it's in your hands, really.
It is. You're the conductor.
Wow. That's what it's about, isn't it? Like,
it is. It is.
Always taste everything. Like, I've just done a stars just recently and a 2-star, and the difference between one of the chefs and the other. When I'm on my time off, if I've ever got time off, I like to throw in some training. So just recently I went to work with Dennis, who you guys might know him from Malicious.
Shout out to Dennis.
Shout out to Dennis. And he's also got a restaurant in Antwerp called Dojo 2.0.
Oh, wow.
So I wanted to go to Japan to do the sushi course. And I thought a little bit more. Just rolling sushi don't give you too much for these yachts, really. Mm-hmm. So I went to Dennis.
Who's an expert.
He is an expert. He really is. Like, and they're making all their own garums, they're making sake, they're doing 7-course to 14-course tasting menus. And to be honest, it's such a small team. As soon as I got there, I was hands on, like, oh, can you break that place down? I'm like, yeah, I reckon I can. So we're doing that, and we're making koji, which I had no understanding of at all. Went there and I'm learning all about that.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's super important when we work on land, you are taught everything from whoever is above you, your sous chef, your head chef. You come into yachting and you see like, oh, the engineers are really doing this course. Oh, the deckhands doing this course. And I thought, you know what? I've got spare money. I'm traveling the world and I'd always wanted to learn about chocolates. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go and work with Chef Amari Couchon in Las Vegas. I've been and done a course with the guy at I Should Coco, So Sassy. And it might be $500 for the day, but what do you want to get paid every day?
Yeah, and you reach for it, right? You've got more understanding of it.
Yeah.
You put those things on the menu and you're employed more and you get paid more. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It will never be taken away from you, especially if you look to be to be trained off the elite, which we can afford now, like to be trained off the people at the top of the game. And that's what I would say. Always just keep training up.
So Luke, it's been great talking to you today. We're going to wrap it up. So is there anything you want to say to anybody out there who's watching this? Give them some advice, word of wisdom from Luke.
Yeah, my word of wisdom is just never give up. Like, before you start, you don't think it's going to happen. Never give up. It will happen. With the training, you might think like you've got a little bit of imposter syndrome. Just keep going, work through that. Take more training, like take the time you need and just become the chef that you want to become.
Awesome. To see more from me, go to Future Chef Project on Instagram or check out more videos on Behind the Line with Chef Danny Davies. See more from Luke. Where do we go, Luke?
I don't know, just keep your eyes peeled. They'll be all around the Caribbean this season.
You can see him on Facebook. You on Instagram too?
My handle is Chef Luke _87.
We'll put it here, right?
Yep.
Thanks very much, Luke. Been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure.
Better let you get back and get some crew food out, right?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Bada done, bada done, bada done.